From Pikachu to Dracovish, Ash has had many different Pokemon of all shapes and sizes, so naturally, not all of them are going to take the spotlight. But if there's a Pokemon that most certainly should have had more time to shine, it's Heracross. It might feel weird to think about Heracross being forgotten, as it is most certainly a fan favorite of Ash's Pokemon. In fact, he is so popular that many consider him to be Ash's Johto ace. But unfortunately, that is not the case. So I'll explain bit by bit why Heracross was left to rot in the void of Oak's lab. Ash's Heracross was introduced in the episode A Sappy Ending, where it followed Ash around while he tried to stop a territorial dispute between a group of Heracross and another one of Pinsir. After Ash helped solve the dispute, Heracross followed him and was caught, officially joining Ash's team as his first Johto Pokemon. After that, Heracross didn't really have many notable events. Besides him eventually harassing Bulbasaur and getting slapped in the face, it wasn't as present as the Johto starters. His first battle was in the episode Roll On Pokemon, in which he had battled the Donphan and then lost to another. Heracross's other battle was against a Scizor in Wired for Battle, where he made use of his great reaction time to dodge Scizor's attack and come out on top with a Horn attack. These moments aren't bad at all, and made well to establish Heracross as a strong Pokemon that Ash would have to learn to make the best out of. But then came the episode Tricks of the Trade, where Ash sent Heracross to Oak's lab in exchange for a Tauros. This is normal, as Ash constantly grabbed old Pokemon in the other anime sagas. The problem is that after he was done with Tauros, he simply didn't get Heracross back because that goddamn professor decided that he wanted to study it. This moment was so infuriating when I first watched it, because why were the anime writers benching one of Ash's strongest new Pokemon just to keep giving the spotlight to the Kanto starters? Besides, if Oak wanted to study a Heracross that badly, why couldn't he just ask his own grandson to catch one? Isn't Gary a prodigy? Go ask him instead of taking one of Ash's strongest Pokemon at the time. After being left to rot in Oak's lab for nearly the entire Johto saga, Ash decided to finally bring Heracross back for his full battle against Gary in the Silver Conference. This means that Heracross didn't have the chance to participate in a single gym battle during the entirety of Ash's journey in Johto. What an absolute waste of a good Pokemon. At least Heracross managed to contribute a bit in the battle against Gary, knocking out Magmar after taking several hits of super effective Fire-type attacks. But then he lost to Blastoise, so we could have Charizard beat 3 Pokemon on his own. After the league, it was the end of the Johto saga, meaning that Heracross would be staying at the lab and not be part of Ash's party ever again, only appearing for a battle every now and then. But if you think that the Heracross disrespect ends in Johto, then you're in for a big surprise. Before moving on, please consider subscribing and liking the video, because every like equals 1 Pokeblock for Heracross, so help the little guy out. Now, let's move on back to the video. After Ash was done with his travels in Hoenn, he went back to Kanto to challenge the Battle Frontier. During these battles, he would sometimes bring back old favorites of his to help in the battles, like Charizard to fight Nolan and Articuno, Snorlax to fight Greta even though he was at a type disadvantage, and even the entire OG Kanto starter trio to fight Brandon. That was also the case for his battle against Spencer, which was a very cool battle because it didn't take place in an arena, but instead an entire forest. For this battle, Ash decided to use Swellow, Sceptile, and Heracross. This was great because it meant that Heracross would finally get his time to shine like the other old Pokemon that were brought to help in the Battle Frontier did. But you know what these goddamn riders at Heracross do in this battle? Hit 1 Mega Horn and then get knocked out by Solar Beam. Heracross was literally used to be outshined by Sceptile. They treated my boy Heracross as a stepping stone in Sceptile's career. And you know what the worst part is? That it happens again! In the Lily of the Valley Conference, Ash used Heracross in 2 battles. The first one was against Nando, where he debuted his new move Sleep Talk to overcome Kricketune Sing. This battle was just like Heracross's few battles in Johto, nothing special but decent. The problem comes in Ash's infamous battle against Tobias, the man who was literally placed in the league so Ash couldn't win. Tobias used his Darkrai and Ash, unlike what he usually does, picked Heracross, a Pokemon with a double type advantage and a way to fight while leaping. But instead of having Heracross finally win a challenging battle, they had him land one Mega Horn and then get knocked out with a Dream Eater. Now where have I seen this before? The only way it could get any more similar to the battle against Spencer would be if Sceptile showed up to knock out the Pokemon that beat Heracross, but there's no way they're gonna do that again. And that's the story of how Heracross became a stepping stone for Sceptile twice. This was Heracross's last official battle in the anime, leaving this beloved Pokemon with a mediocre legacy and no chance at redemption. After Sinnoh, Heracross would only make cameos in other sagas of the anime. Ash only used him again in the final stretch of his journey in the episode Ride Lapras Ride, where it helped free a trapped Wailmer. Heracross might actually be Ash's best underused Pokemon of all time. He didn't travel much with Ash, so he didn't have any development or got the chance to prove himself. Still, even though the anime writers forgot about everyone's favorite Beetle Boy, the community didn't, which is why Heracross is beloved by many people, even if his time in the anime was mediocre. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked this one, then maybe you'll enjoy some of my other content. Anyways, that was it for this video, so I'll see you next time.